إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب إن شاء الله brothers and sisters, we start. So we continue with the Fiqh of Ramadan. Inshallah, today we'll discuss as we normally do, inshallah, one by one. Today, inshallah, we start with the ruling regarding Sahb al-Dam li-Tabarru'. Basically, taking blood out for donation or things like that. Are we allowed to take blood out to donate? Islamically, it won't break the fast, the ulama said. But whoever does that have to be careful regarding taking too much blood out. It can make him dizzy or make him weak. Like hijama we've covered. Doing hijama. So yeah, taking the blood out for donation, something that is does not break your fast, as long as the person doesn't become weak. ذهب علامة ابن باز وعلامة ابن عثيمين وعلامة الفوزان إلى أنه إذا كان كثير أفطر. So they say that it doesn't break the fast, but if it's a lot of blood, then it can nullify your siyam. They follow the understanding from the hijama. When you take hijama, if it's a lot of blood, that you can nullify your siyam. وقد تقدم أن الراجي في الحجامة أنها لا تفطر. But the opinion regarding cupping, it does not nullify your fasting. So giving blood out for donation, لا يعد مفترا, that it doesn't nullify the fast. Okay, it doesn't nullify the fast of a person who gives blood for donation, inshallah. So that's it's clear, inshallah. The next one is kuhul. Using kuhul on your eye, inshallah. This is something that scholars discuss as well, because a lot of people ask questions on this issue as well. So using kuhul, on the eye, you use the powder thing. It doesn't nullify your siyam because taking in, it's on your eyes, so it will not nullify your siyam as well, inshallah. The next one is al-qatra fil udhun. Qatr fil udhun, which is we use eye drop and nose drop and things like that. Do they nullify the fast? Shaykh bin Baz and others says that it does not nullify your fast, but when you use drop on your nose, that can nullify your fast because it's going to go to your throat, and that can eventually go in your stomach, and that can nullify your fast. But on the ear, it does not. It doesn't take like Shaykh al-Islam says that لكون الأذن ليست بمنفذ إلى الحلق والمعدة, that the ear, the pipe doesn't go to your throat or your stomach. So if you put it on your ear, it's okay. But the nose, it goes to your throat and eventually goes to your stomach. So ear is no problem with that. It will not nullify the fast. The opinion of Shaykh bin Baz, Shaykh ibn Haadi as well. So yeah, eardrop doesn't nullify your fast, my brothers and sisters, inshallah. The next one is at-taqayyu, vomit. Does vomit break your fast? I think if we covered this, it does not break your fast, vomiting, as long as he doesn't intentionally vomit. Like hadith says that man dhara'ahu al-qay fala qada alayhi, that whoever the vomit comes to him, he comes, then it doesn't nullify your fast. وَمَنْ إِسْتَسْقَى فَعَلَيْهِ الْقَضَى. But whoever takes the vomit out by himself, like putting a finger through the throat and things like that, that will nullify your fast. That's what the ruling of vomiting, the ulama have mentioned. The next one is, inshallah, مسائل تتعلق بالكفارات. Okay, kafar. Some of them we have covered, but some of them we will cover, inshallah. Now, kafara, we covered some of them, like we spoke about when a husband and wife have intercourse in the month of Ramadan. That's the whole thing Shaykh Muhammad Hizam brings now, because these are issues that have always been asked. Having intercourse in the month of Ramadan nullifies your fast, and we read the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that a man came and said, I've destroyed, and eventually Prophet gave him conditions what to do, and he said none of them he couldn't do, and he couldn't do any of the kafarat. Prophet gave him some dates to feed his family. So having intercourse in the month of Ramadan, it nullifies your fast. Now from that, with some of the issues are coming now, inshallah, we know this breaks your fast. Now what if someone, Shaykh brings the question, وَإِذَا أُكْرِهَا الْمَرْأَ عَلَى الْجِمَاعِ, what is the ruling of a person who forced his wife to have intercourse in the month of Ramadan? Okay, اختلف العلماء على هذه المسألة. Scholars have differed regarding this issue. Okay, now regarding the sister, the ulama says there's no kafara for the sister because she is forced to do the act, and she has no kafara. She continues to fast because she's vulnerable. She felt she's overpowered. She did that. She had no control of that. She feared Allah much as she could. So she has no kafara on her, and no qada as well. But for the brother, for the husband, for forcing to do such an act in the month of Ramadan, he need to do the kafara, no doubt. As the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Okay, so forcing somebody to do this act in the month of Ramadan, this is the ruling given by the scholars. طيب, the next one is إذا طلع الفجر وهو جامع فترك في الحال. So we could talk about the same issue, but different questions are coming up. So Shaykh says that if the Fajr comes, okay, if the Fajr comes and they had intercourse, but they left it when the Fajr came in, the scholars have said that there is no qada and there is no kafara. Okay, this is a hadith, same thing happened to Prophet ﷺ, and he stopped it here. So that will not, that's okay. That will nullify your siyam, inshallah. The next one is Man kana jahilan bitarki jima' fi nahar Ramadan. Man kana jahilan, that someone is ignorant regarding the prohibitions of having intercourse in the month of Ramadan. Someone is ignorant. Now, we spoke about this. Let's discuss once more, inshallah. Imam al-Nawawi said, وَإِذَا كَانَ وَطِعَ الصَّائِمْ فِي النَّهَارِ رَمَضَانِ وَقَالَ جَهِلْتُ تَحْرِيمَهُ فإن كان ممن يخفى عليه لقرب الإسلام أو نحوه فلا كفارة ولا يفطر. So Imam al-Nawawi said that if someone says, I was ignorant regarding the prohibitions of having intercourse in the month of Ramadan, I didn't know it was haram, but if the person knowledge was hidden from him, yani he lived in a place where he couldn't learn about Islam, he's new in the deen, things like that, then the person is excused. He has no kafara, and siyam will not break. But if a person who lives among the Muslims, where that he can attain the knowledge of the deen and understand this masail, then he has no excuse. He has no excuse. Yeah, so he might have to do kafara for that. He might be ignorant, but he could have learned the knowledge. He could have studied and learned. Because every masajid now they're teaching the masail fiqhiyah. They're teaching you the masail fiqh. You could have learned, and you didn't learn, and you remain ignorant. So you might have excuse in the front of Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah. As I said before, Muslims, even non-Muslims, their excuse for ignorance in this country is not accepted, because you can attain the knowledge. You can go to the masajid, the durus are there, conference are there, and the classes are happening. So you're not excused for that. Unfortunately, that's how it works. طيب. So person to remain ignorant about this issue, that he doesn't know it is haram to have intercourse with the wife month of Ramadan, daytime, then if he's in this country, I will fear for that person. This is Majmu' of Imam al-Nawawi. طيب. The next mas'ala is that جامع وهو يغلب أن الفجر لم يطلع ثم تبين له أن الفجر طلع. Now the next one is that a person has intercourse with wife and he realized that he was thinking the Fajr hasn't come yet, but then after that he realized the Fajr has appeared. So there are three opinions on this. First opinion is that عليه القضاء والكفارة. That's the first opinion. This person who had intercourse with his wife thinking that Fajr hasn't come in, but then realized Fajr has come in. That's the first opinion. Okay? He needs to make qada and the kafara. Second one is that عليه قضاء ولا كفارة. That he does not make qada, upon him to make qada, يعني he need to make up the fasting, but there's no kafara for that person. The third opinion, which is the most authentic, لا قضاء ولا كفارة, وهو قول سعيد بن جبير مجاهد وحسن البصري وإسحاق وهذا قول راجع. So again I'm repeating, someone has intercourse with wife month of Ramadan thinking the Fajr hasn't come yet. Then he realized, became clear for him the Fajr has come. So what it is a mistake he has made. It's a mistake, and we know the hadith of Prophet ﷺ that my ummah is forgiven for the mistake and forgetfulness, things like that. Okay? And Ibn Taymiyyah said, وَهَذَا الْقَوْلُ هُوَ أَصَحُّ الْقَوْلِ, and this is the most authentic statement on this regarding. So, Majmul Fatawa. So, then he continues, وَأَشْبَهُهَا بِأُصُولِ الشَّرْعِيَّةِ. This statement agrees with the Sharia of Allah, which is the hadith I've quoted, وَالدَّلَالُ الْكِتَابُ وَالسُّنَّةِ, and the proof from the books, Quran and the Sunnah, and the Qiyas. فإن الله عز وجل رفع مؤاخذة عن الناس, because Allah عز وجل has lifted the mistake from the one who forgets. والمخطي, and he forgets, he made mistake. وهذا مخطي وقد أباح الله الأكل والشرب والجماع حتى يتبين. So Allah عز وجل, so this person has forgotten, he's made mistake, he's overlooked by Allah عز وجل, and Allah has made halal drinking, eating, having intercourse until the Fajr comes. Okay? So the person made mistake, and based on the Quran and the Sunnah and understanding of the Quran and Sunnah, such person is overlooked because of the mistake. طيب. Now, هل كفارة مخصوصة بالجماع أم تشمل مفطر بالأكل والشرب? Now the Shaykh says that this kafara we are talking about, is it also for eating and drinking? For example, if someone were to eat or drink out knowingly, do they have to do kafara or they have to do qada? Or this kafara we are talking about, expiation, is it only for a person who intercourse with his wife in the month of Ramadan? The ulama Jumhur says that it is only specifically for intercourse the person does in the month of Ramadan. طيب. Now, you know the kafara that we do is the kafara in tartib, in order, or it's not in order? Can we do anything? You know the kafara is he need to feed 10 people, or he need to feed a slave, or he need to feed 10 people, clothe 10 people, and free the slave. Do they have to do in this order? They have to do in this order, because the hadith which talks about is talking about the word mentioning tartib, in order. You have to go in that order. If you don't, then you are sinful. So person have to do kafara according to the order of the hadith. He cannot jump and say, I'm going to leave that, let's do that. La, you have to follow the order, the sequence that hadith has mentioned, hadith Abu radiallahu anhu, we just have mentioned to you, inshallah. طيب, so the order of the hadith, when the man said, I've destroyed, and the order was to free a slave, to fast 2 months in a row, or feed 60 people. That's the order. Okay, how do we know? Grammatically, we can prove this, because Prophet ﷺ said, فَهَلْ تَسْتَطِعْ فَهِيَ mean tartib, in order. Then he said, فَهَلْ تَجِدْ, do you find yourself feeding some people for 60 people? Do you find yourself can do that? So فَهِيَ mean tartib, in order. That sequence have to be. If you don't that sequence, it's not accepted. So you have to follow the order. Shaykh bin Baz also given this opinion fatwa as well, because based on the hadith that we have in front of us. Now the next one is kaffara ala al-mu'sir. If someone cannot give kaffara because of the difficulty that he's going through, what is the ruling on that? One of the opinions says that أنها تسقط وهو الصحيح في مذهب الأحمد, that if he cannot give kaffara, then it is taken off from him, because the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the man, he said no 3 times, so he was overlooked, and Prophet just gave him the date for him and his family to have it. So the ulama says here Prophet ﷺ did not force him to do kaffara because he was unable to do that. So they said, if a person cannot fulfill the kaffara, what is the kaffara? That we have just mentioned, feeding slave, fasting 2 months in Ramadan, or feeding 60 people. He couldn't do any of them, so because he couldn't do it, Prophet overlooked. So they say, based on the hadith, if you cannot do kaffara, you overlooked. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ, fear Allah as much as you can. لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا, Allah does not burden us more than you can bear. So that's one of the opinion of the scholars that is overlooked. The second one is that أنه لا تسقط بل تبقى في ذمته إلى اليسر. So the second one is that it is not overlooked, it is still upon his shoulder. He needs to fulfill it whenever he is able to fulfill. So they say that because the fact Prophet ﷺ gave him tamar to feed, shows that he needs to do something. He needs to still pay the kaffara, whatever, whenever he can. So this is the opinion the jumhur upon. They still upon his shoulder. Whenever he can do the kafarat, he should do it. And this is what Shaykh said here. قول الراجح أعني قول الجمهور. What the jumhur has said, which is that the kafara still on his shoulder. He needs to fulfill the kafara even after 1 year, 2 years, whenever he's able to do, he should fulfill that kafara. طيب يا إخوان, we leave it now inshallah. We'll continue next week. I take the questions that I know brother want to ask questions. I'll do that now inshallah. Any questions? Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Wa salam.
Yeah, because if you are fasted, it simply means you have knowledge of Ramadan that you are meant to fast and you don't need to break your fast. So at what point can one claim that ignorance?
I mean, brother saying, at what point can you claim yourself ignorant? Well, the Sharia never doesn't stipulate when you're ignorant, when you're not ignorant. But in certain issue, mas'ala, like for example, we were discussing, Shaykh bringing that someone is ignorant that he can't have intercourse with the wife month of Ramadan. Now, if you don't know the issue, then you're ignorant on that mas'ala, on the issue, you're ignorant, you don't know. The point is that, are we excused for the ignorant? Are we excused? If we in this country, and not only this issue, but any issue, someone doesn't know how to pray, someone is ignorant that he needs to fast month of Ramadan, someone is ignorant that he doesn't know that I cannot use foul language, I cannot be violent in month of Ramadan. He said, I'm ignorant, I don't know about it. So the point is, then he needs to learn, isn't it? He needs to learn Islam. In this country, he got classes, he needs to go and learn them. So he become knowledgeable. Like Imam Ahmad said, we seek knowledge to remove ignorance from ourselves and from the others. So if we don't learn, we cannot remove the ignorance. We cannot remove ignorance from ourselves and the others. So to what level we can say we're ignorant? Even the ulama, they believe they're ignorant. The ulama, they say we're ignorant, we're still learning. So learning doesn't stop. It's always learning. But the issue is that in this country we have to learn the basic knowledge of the deen. In the month of Ramadan, what nullifies the Ramadan? A lot of things people don't know. So we're learning, inshallah. So for example, does spray for asthma, does it nullify your siyam? A lot of people don't know that. So we are learning, alhamdulillah. So the issue is we have to learn. In this country, there is no excuse for brothers and sisters to remain ignorant about worshipping Allah. Because the basic knowledge in this country we can learn, we can understand. So we don't have to go to the ulama. Basic knowledge you can learn, alhamdulillah. Brothers are learning, we are learning, alhamdulillah, practicing the deen. So the question is, my answer to your question is, there is no evidence to say when you are ignorant. It doesn't, hadith never says that. As I said, the ulama believe they're ignorant themselves. Subhanallah, they believe they're still beginners, you know. But what is the important thing is that we have to learn. We all have to learn the deen. We have to learn about Islam, fasting, now month of Ramadan. If you're going to go to Hajj, you have to learn how to make Hajj. What is bid'ah in Hajj? What is shirk in Hajj? What is the sunnah way to make Hajj? Things like that. So we should, in this country we have no excuse. We all have to learn about Islam. We cannot remain ignorant in a lot of basic issues about it, inshallah. Tawheed and shirk and things like that.
Secondly, sir, where do you stand that we should make kafara and make qadar?
Which one?
Some of the sheikhs say, scholars say, Allah overlook when we do not have means to make kafara. While some of the scholars say that you might not have means now, you can do it after 1 year, 2 years, or whatever. So where do you stand on it?
Oh, for this, the last one.
Yeah.
If someone is ignorant about the
No, not the ignorant, like somebody who had this opposite wife and didn't know that.
Okay. You're talking about the issue about someone cannot pay the kafara, yeah? The Jumhur says that the hadith is evidence. Why? Because Prophet ﷺ, he did not just say go, but he gave him to fulfill the kafara, which is he gave him the day to feed himself. Shows that you have to do kafara whatever way. It's still on your shoulder. You have to, whenever you are able to fulfill the kafara, you have to fulfill it.
So we must conclude that it's on our shoulder.
Or shoulder, yeah. This is what Jumhur says. Majority of the scholars have said that you have to still do kafara, not today, next week, but a year later. Do the kafara whenever it becomes easy for you. If I leave it, yeah.
Shaykh, the ijtima' between al-mar'i wa zawji, let's say they both go into a state of janaba, and then the waqt fajr enters, but can they start fasting then? Like, does the janaba affect it?
No, janaba doesn't affect. The brother says that if the husband and wife have intercourse before the fajr, and then janaba fajr starts, alhamdulillah, that's okay. Prophet was in that state once as well. So that will not nullify. It will nullify when the fajr enters, second fajr enters, when you can't eat or drink, you have intercourse, that's when you will nullify your salah, your fasting. But because Allah said, أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةُ الصِّيَامِ رَفَثُ إِلَى النِّسَاءِ. Okay? Allah have made halal for you to go to your wife in that night, and then He says, and eat and drink until the fajr comes in. So before the fajr comes in, eating, drinking, having in intimacy with the wife, that's halal. And if you become janaba at that time, until the fajr comes in, that's okay. But when the fajr comes in, bath and go to your salah, inshallah, that's okay. That will nullify. We covered that anyway.
So let's say they're on janaba, they eat, they drink, and the second fajr comes, fajr has started.
Yeah.
And they still haven't done ghusl, I think.
That's okay.
It's still valid.
Yeah, so Siyam is still valid because the Siyam hasn't come into yet. The time for the Siyam hasn't come yet because you've done the job before the second Fajr comes. Alhamdulillah. So the second Fajr comes, Adhan comes, that's when the Siyam starts. Then you have your bath and go to. You can eat when you in janaba anyway, no problem with that. Then you have your bath and you go to. Then you salah, khalas. That's okay, no problem with that, inshallah.
So you can be in a state of janaba even after Siyam starts, but obviously you have to.
Yeah, but you go pray though, isn't it?
I'm saying, so let's
Yeah,
say if
so-
the adhan goes off,
Yeah,
because in this country Fajr is like there's a long time of Fajr.
yeah.
So let's say the adhan second adhan goes off, you're in janaba, your Siyam is still valid.
Yes, brother saying, can you stay in janaba and even and after the second adhan goes? You stay in janaba, no problem with that, because janaba to happen before the fajr came in. So when the second adhan come in, you're in janaba, no problem with that. Okay, so when the second adhan comes, make sure you just have a bath and pray before the fajr goes, inshallah. So that remaining staying in janaba in the fajr comes in doesn't nullify your siyam. No, it doesn't. Yeah, we have.
If a person is doing i'tikaf, is it permissible for his family members to give food every night?
If the brother saying that if someone doing i'tikaf, can the family member give food? Yeah, of course. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Even mu'takif, the one who doing i'tikaf, Islamically, he can go out if it's daruriya. For example, visiting his family member is very ill or something like that. Visiting somebody ill, urgent, then he can go out. Visiting his mom, urgent, he can go. His family member go, no problem with that, inshallah. But if someone goes, leave i'tikaf and goes and chill out with the brother and have coffee and tea, and that can nullify it. Yeah, you can't do that. Prophet ﷺ, if somebody goes to i'tikaf and his mother comes and gives him the food, he can escort her to the house, no problem with that. Prophet ﷺ was in i'tikaf and his wife Safiya came to see him, they spoke, and then he escorted her to the house. And when he came out from the masjid, two Ansar from the Sahabi came. Prophet looked at them and said, "This is my wife." And they said, "Allahu Akbar, Ya Rasul, we know this is your wife. Ya Rasul, we're not going to think anything else." He said, "No, Wallahi, I'm telling you this because, no, you're suspecting me, it's because surely shaitan is flowing in your blood." Okay? To create doubt. A'udhu billah. So yeah, if you can escort them to the house, no problem, they can bring the food, nothing wrong with that, inshallah. That will not nullify your i'tikaf. Khalas, inshallah. Okay, assalamu alaikum. Yeah. I don't have to go